What is up, y'all? We are out here on this Sunday afternoon. Shot a match yesterday down at Double Tap. Not a great match. Reason being, though, is that I have officially started the path to nationals. It's Factory Gun Nats, not Race Gun Nats. So the 2011 I've been shooting, built by Gibson Custom Guns, named El Gordo, is going to have to chill for a few months while I jump on a factory gun. So that being said, in the past, you guys have heard me talk about two guns that I was going to attempt to take to nationals, or to figure out which gun I wanted to take to nationals. And that was a TANFOGLIO Stock 2, built by Patriot Defense, and a GLOCK 17 Gen 6. These were the two options that I was weighing. Two vastly different guns. One is a steel CZ clone, double action, single action, beautiful hard chrome finish. I love these guns. I sold my Shadows, and I had one of these in the safe that I'd been kind of keeping, and I was like, well, I could maybe take this to Nats. It'll fit the factory gun rules. So, but, you know, to get one of these built, it would cost, you know, I got this one on a deal, used, already built, but if I was going to buy new and build it up, man, that'd be $1,800 or so from Patriot. Spent way less than that buying it used. And I've got a cool, what is that? Oh, Sight C green dot on it, 3 MOA. Actually really like that glass. If it was, if this was just a little bit bigger, it'd be a straight competitor with the 507, 407 comps. So this was my first thought of, okay, well, I don't have CZ Shadows anymore. But why did I get rid of the CZ Shadow? Well, because it is a tiny gun. I don't have incredibly large hands, but I also do have large hands. After holding different guns, especially after holding a 2011, I figured out that a Shadow 2 is tiny, and I can't really get the grip I want on a Shadow 2. Can I shoot them well? Relatively, yeah. Felt pretty confident with them, but I always had that in the back of my head of like, man, I'm just not comfortably gripping this gun. My first thought was, well, there's a large frame. Get a Stock 2 large frame. You know, I used to shoot Lim Pros and Stock 2s back in the production and limited days. So I know I really like how these guns fit my hands. So then after that, I decided, okay, I'm gonna try to go to Nats. I couldn't get into Race Gun Nats. I got into Factory Gun Nats because I won the Oklahoma section slot, and I didn't win the race gun slot. That meant that no matter what, I wanted to go to nationals again this year. It's in Utah again. I want to go back there. But that meant that I couldn't take my 2011 that I've been working on for the last year almost. Then the thought came, okay, well, I don't remember how I got on getting one of these. I think I just wanted one. It's that simple. I think the new Gen 6 changes that they came up with, I just really dug them, and I hadn't had a full-size Glock in a long time. I've carried Glocks for, I don't know, 15 years now. Yeah, damn, almost 15 years. I've carried Glocks, a Glock 19, a Glock 19X, Glock 43. I've had a Glock 17. I've had a Glock 34. I've had a Glock 24. This one would just fit in the carry optics gun also, so I got it. And I actually really enjoyed putting this together, getting some parts for it. You guys saw my other video where I did some part changes to it. I still have some more coming. I might change this trigger out to an Overwatch polished trigger arm with a Gunco trigger shoe. So, but I'll make an update on that later on. After that, I kept saying, well, which gun do I want to take to Nats? I was going to make this video of comparing the two guns, of seeing which one I performed with the best, and then taking that one to Nats, building a backup gun. But the last couple weeks, I kicked that idea to the curb and decided to go to nationals with the GLOCK, dude. Now, why, right? Why do I want a plastic gun compared to this awesome steel hard chrome beautiful Italian gun. Yesterday, I shot it at a match, the Glock 17, and I just decided last minute, like 2 days before the match, to shoot the Glock. I put the belt together like Friday night, did some dry fire, went out to the match, and dude, shooting this thing whooped my ass. I could see and could feel that I was trying to go much faster than I could run this trigger. Obviously, I haven't had much time running this trigger, so to be slow is to be expected. Reloading and all that stuff went decent. I haven't reloaded without a magwell in a while. Why the Glock, right? Well, I was texting a buddy of mine, Hunter, back and forth a little bit about shooting the Glock at the match. He was asking me if I loved it, if I loved shooting it, because shooting a Glock is hard work. Shooting a Glock is not shooting a 2011. 2011, you ride it. It's real easy just to hop on and ride it. This thing, you got to work at it. You got to drive this a little more. This requires more input than a 2011. Hell, more input than a Stock 2 or a CZ Shadow 2. But the challenge is why I chose this gun. The challenge of being able to pulling the trigger, like you have to be so disciplined with your trigger pull with this gun, where a really good single action trigger on the Stock 2 Shadow 2 can make up for a lot of your skill issues. Pulling the trigger, 2011 hides those even more, right? You can be sloppier and still get good hits. It requires you to pull the trigger properly, requires you to hold onto the gun because it is a light gun. I wish I weighed them, but I mean, I think these weigh like 23 ounces, and that's going to be closer to 40, like especially with some brass grips. And then El Gordo, of course, is like almost 60 ounces. I'm going from one extreme to the other on the opposite end. But the challenge is why I want to shoot the Glock. Dude, something about these, I can just hold it and the dot appears for me. Well, not right there because it's off, but I hold these very naturally. I don't have to hunt for the dot. The dot just appears. Sometimes with a Shadow 2, Stock 2, 2011 E2, I have to fish for the dot a little bit until I get some dry fire reps. But this thing, no matter what, when I hold it up, I see the dot. So, I don't know, man. I was going to make this whole video of comparison and stuff, but fuck it. It's the Glock. I want the challenge. I want to see if I can come back from shooting a Glock and get back on a 2011 later on in the year to see if I've improved my skill, right? That's also part of it. I want to make it harder for myself, even though it's been hard lately. I've been shooting like shit at matches ever since that badass match I had at 38 America. I've been sucking ass since then, dude. I had a horrible Tulsa match the day after that. Then a week after that, I had a horrible practice, which I haven't even edited. I don't even want to watch myself. I might throw in a few clips of me fucking shit up at that practice with Micah, but man, it was bad.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Ah, steel.
All right, 7-Eleven.
I forgot about the steel. Man.
You gotta get that in your head.
I didn't walk through it in my head.
Yeah.
Ugh. Had a mic too.
Okay, what was that? What was that one? Charlie
Mike, 2 Alpha.
Charlie Mike, 2 Alpha. I'll go out here.
2 Alpha, 2 Alpha.
All right, 2. Last target is Alpha Delta.
Alpha Delta?
Yeah.
Could not lock in, could not focus, could not get anything going. And then in addition to that, I'm 41, y'all, so injuries are kind of a thing. My IT band on my fucking knee started swelling. So I was down and not moving for about a week. I think it's overuse and just kind of straining. I was only dry firing standing, but yeah. So all that being said, it's been hard lately. I feel like I'm regressing in my skill a little bit. Still stuck in A class. I'm now like, I think high 70s, which I know I can shoot mid to high 80s, but I'm stuck, dude. It's all up here. I can't get it over my head. I can't get through to myself to kind of make that ascension. I shot great at 38 America. I thought I had it figured out after that, and then it's just been a dip in everything after that. So I'm gonna double down on the dip. I'm gonna double down on the shit show and eat the fucking shit sandwich, dude, and shoot a Glock. Fuck. That's what I'm gonna do. At the match yesterday, super fun. Definitely saw some places where the Glock's making me look harder at the targets, and I can't split it fast enough yet. I cannot work the trigger. I'm gonna change this trigger out a little bit and get one that's kind of more set back so I don't have to pull as much double action on the Glock trigger. That's not gonna change the fact that I need to pull the Glock trigger faster without disturbing the sights, without causing over input to dip shots with my right hand. So what I have set out here today is a drill. I think I saw David Wampler, or I don't know how you say his name, Wampler. Big dude, shoots Atlases. I think it was his drill. I don't know. It's a drill to work speed, right? So I noticed yesterday I need to build speed in my trigger pulls, but still see my sights. And what he had was 2 pieces of steel on the end, and then 2 targets in the middle. And you don't make up shots. You're training your eye to get there fast, pull the trigger fast, move off it, trigger fast. The goal is to not miss, obviously, but also I'm not going to make the shots up. And I know that sounds maybe a little counterintuitive, because at a match, it's always slower to pull off, engage a different target, and then come back, as opposed to miss and then come right back to it and make it up. I might do that later in the practice, but right now, I just want to really work on getting on the gas on this Glock trigger. I need it. After watching myself shoot it yesterday and feeling myself shoot it, I was noticeably slower. Squad mates were saying that they could tell that I was trying to shoot it faster, but I physically couldn't. We're gonna try to find that speed and aggression with the Glock. And I just brought this Tanfo out to show it to you guys. I might throw a few rounds on it from a holster. Maybe I'll do the same drill for a couple mags just to see what it would do, just because I want to shoot it. I am gonna load up some mags for both guns, do a quick zero check, maybe start on my doubles warm up on a single target. Yeah, we're gonna see what it does here at 25. Shot 5 at the A zone, 2 Charlies, 3 Alphas. I'm gonna have to probably shoot some groups and slow fire to get where I need to get with this thing. So we're gonna go here from 5 yards with the Tanfo on this doubles drill, just to shoot it. I just want to show you guys on video me shooting this thing. Where's the dot? There you go. Pretty good hole there. Start off a little slow because of the double action, had some dip down, but it was a 17 split, 17, 17, 17, 16 split right there. So all in the A zone. So now we're gonna go about mid-20 splits. Pretty good group there. Double action is slow, but that was a 21, 22, 24, 23, 23, 23. And the group's small, which is great. All right, so now we're gonna just let the dot settle and shoot 40 plus splits here. All right, start off a little bad just because ergonomics of the gun are a little different. I have to point the gun slightly different, but let's go look at that target. I enjoy shooting Tanfos, and I shoot them well because I've got so much time behind one. These were here before, these were here before. So this is the string of the doubles, but I got it to tighten up here towards the end. So it was a couple that were here. The double action was bad, but then I tightened them up right here. This was the 22 to 24 splits, shooting a little low. I zeroed it a long time ago. And then this one started off really low, and then I started tightening it up a little bit. And those splits were 47, 45, 42, 49, 43, 41. Pretty decent groups right there, actually. This gun feels awesome. I really enjoy holding this gun. You know, maybe next year I'll take it out for a couple of carry optics matches. I got to build the rig, but I have to get a few more mags with more base pads. But yeah, I might do that for fun next year, just to maybe start the season off with some carry optics in this gun. All right, so I'm gonna take this target down, put a fresh target up with some white pacers, and run the same drill now with the GLOCK. And I guarantee you, which it's not the plan, but that the groups are gonna open up a little bit. This has a great trigger. I don't have it gauged, but the single action, dude, it barely moves and it breaks great. It's probably like a 3-pound single action. All right, let's take this down, and then we'll load up the GLOCK and switch belts again. Yeah. Oh, microphone. Here we are with the GLOCK now. I'm still kind of fucking with my belt. I'm not sure this is the setup I like, but that'll be a work in progress. I'm gonna do a one-shot return on that top paster with a beep, and I want to work on pulling the trigger and then pulling off it as fast as I can. I want to keep that in mind. 26 hit the paster and it returned right where I needed it. Great return, 0.25. Man, I'm stacking 3 shots right there. This is awesome. Pull that one a little low. I think I over input with my right hand on that one. Dot return perfectly there. 0.23, so I am speeding up a little bit. Let's go again. .26, so not bad. The dot goes up and then a little bit, and then settles right back to where it was. It kind of disappears a little bit. That time the dot went straight up, disappeared for a second, and came right back down. All right, so let's just go. No more timer after this one. Oh. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll show it to you. So that's a combination of those two that I was just doing on the head box. What I'm looking for is what the dot does with different inputs. The dot does disappear off the sight a little bit, off the glass, unlike my 2011 where I see the dot the whole time, but it reappears in the exact same spot every time. So that's good. Confirmation 1. No draw, we're just gonna go for it. Sub 20 splits. $18, $18, $19, $18, $17, $19, $17, $20, $20, $21. Way slower splits relative, obviously, to El Gordo, right? Group though, it opens up a little bit, and that's expected, just because of the different platform, different weight, different recoil impulse, different trigger, different dot, everything's different. Like I was saying earlier, literally the polar opposite of my heavy, almost 60-ounce 2011 El Gordo. I don't mind shooting 20 splits, 18 splits at this distance. Do I need to go 15s, 12s? No, that's not gonna win me a match, you know? The only thing splits do is splits get chicks. That's about it. All right, we're gonna go to mid-20 splits here. There we go. All right, so I think I was shooting a little slow, letting the dot kind of settle a little too much. 25 to 33-ish splits I'm happy with. That might have been slower than that though. Yeah, 35s. So 35, 34, 35, 36, 36. So I can definitely speed that up. So knock out like 100ths, like knock out like 400ths out of that. All right, so now it's a completely settled dot. Let's look at these splits. So these were 58, 53, 54, 59, 54, 60, 57, 56, 52. So, all right. So what that tells me is everything's slower all across. That's okay. Way slower gun to shoot. We got to be more methodical with it, right? You have to really feel that trigger. On a 2011, I almost don't feel it sometimes because it goes off so easy. I'm happy with these splits. Not so happy with the group. I wish it was more like this. Fist size. That's close to fist size. Not quite yet. This is covered up on my fist. That's covered up on my fist. These could be 25 to 30 splits. I'd be happy with that. These need to be a little quicker. I'd be happy with like a 45 split to 50 right here. Good progress. This is really my first practice with this damn gun. So, all right, here's the drill. Let me show you guys real quick. So this is what I got set up. You can't see it right now, but there is a steel behind this target, just like the steel there. So it's an 8-inch plate, 2 USPSA targets, less than a yard away from each other, and then another steel over there. And the goal is just to lead the eyes, grip the gun, and rip the gun. And that's what I'm gonna be shooting at so you guys can hear what I'm doing. We're gonna go from a draw. Damn, I don't think I got a hit on this steel at all. 1 Charlie on each target. Lock it in, dude. Two deltas there. Well, a bunch of deltas actually. In transition, I've got 2 deltas on the left. Same Charlie there, everything is alpha. Here I've got now 1 delta on the right, and that same Charlie is still there. I got my hits on steel this time though, which is good. I was definitely looking a bit harder that time. That is great. All right, so let's run a fresh mag here. Hell yeah. 1 Charlie over here and 1 Charlie over here. Another 2 Charlies on the right side actually. And all my hits on steel were there. Oh, that was a clean run, dude. 1 Charlie actually. Fantastic. These were early in the runs. I think first run or 2. Most of the shots are in the A zone. I am painting color, painting green. Transitions, 22, 21, 20, 21. I could maybe speed these up a little bit more. Maybe not until I can get them all in the alpha, then worry about speeding up. The steel, I started getting the hits finally. I wasn't getting the hits earlier. I'm gonna paste up. All right, here we go again. Woo, had a couple of edged shots there on the steel where I heard pings, but they were not full diameter hits. That steel wouldn't have fallen. I do have 1 delta and maybe 1 Charlie on this left target. Splits are 20, 22, 21, 21, 21. All right, 1 more mag and then we gotta go load up again. All right, cleaned it up a little bit over here. Targets, As you can see, I had 1, 2, 3 Charlies, 1 Delta, all alphas on this one. Fantastic. I did have a little bit of miscues on the steel, but for the most part, I'm hitting them most of the time. I'm only gonna have a few runs left, but I'm gonna load the mags up and really work on pushing. I wanna push myself even more. Also, look at that. The handle it grips. Even though they're installed, like they say, they're already coming off over here on the side. Look at that. That ain't good, right? I don't know. Maybe skateboard tape just ain't for me. But I'm gonna keep pushing that into itself there eventually. All right, let's go load the mags. All right, fresh targets. Same drill. I've only got 120, 140 rounds left, so we're gonna try to push as much as possible. Nice pushing there. Definitely picked up the pace. Had a couple misses on steel, but that's good. I'm hoping I get sub 20 splits now. 19s, 18s, so not bad. I can push this gun. I just need to learn how. 1, 2 Charlie on the left, 1 Charlie on the right. So let's go again. All right, let's push it. Little trigger freeze there, and probably some kind of high primer. Okay. Best split was a 17. So we got a 20, 17, 21, 21. All right, motherfucker, we were pushing right there. Hell yeah. 19, 18, 22, 19, 17, 17, 19, 19, 22. Great. I was pushing. I am down a few Charlies over here, but I'll show you guys the targets here shortly. 3 more mags. Yeah, 3 more mags and then we're done here for today. All right, let's go. All right, pushing a little bit beyond my limits there with a few misses on steel. The gun's getting kind of hot. I'll show you guys the targets, let it chill out for just a little bit. You can see there the hits. I've got no deltas, all Charlies there, which is great. You know what? I'm gonna leave this next run on the target so you guys can see what the targets look like. You won't see me, but you can see the targets getting shot. Oh, bad draw. All right, feeling the rhythm of that trigger finally, and the splits in between. Those splits in between felt great. Sounded like 4 shots all together. Yeah, it's great. We had a 19 split, 22 transition, 21 split. It's exactly what you want, right? 19, 21, 20 again. 19, 20, 21 again. So that's the split, transition, split. One last run. Last mag. That is awesome. This thing's hot as fuck. Tight group. 95-degree day. All right. Oh, son. That was money, dude. That's exactly what I need to do. I found the aggression. I was just painting the steel with, well, the dot there. Wasn't letting it stop. I was probably my fastest runs yet. Let's see here. All these are, even the steel transitions, they're only 30. Right, so let's see. That 30, then I had a 20 split, 21 transition, 20 split, 36 transition to steel, 19, 21, 19 split, 27 transition to steel. 18, 21, 20. Dude, that's where I want to be. Hits are not perfect, but that's okay. We're pushing. One Charlie over here on transition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Charlies. This is about 120-ish rounds. And over here, it was even better. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Charlies only. Great drill to work on aggression. Yeah, it's not good to jump off a steel. You don't want to do that at a match. Sometimes you don't want to train yourself a certain way, but there is times to train very specific things, I think. At least for me. I ain't talking about y'all or anyone else. Anytime I talk about training, it's only what I've kind of figured out about myself while I'm doing all this, right? There is times where I like pushing speed. At a match, I don't want to hit steel, move on from it, and then come back to it, right? But right now, the purpose of this is to train speed and aggression, vision, grip, all the fundamentals at a higher speed. I don't think this is something that I would want to train all the time, just because it might instill bad habits, like missing on steel and moving on from it. Not something I don't think I want to do all the time, where I'm getting myself used to shooting like an asshole where I shouldn't be. That's it for me. This is GLOCK Gen 6. That's holding up just fine. I have a few more mods to do to it soon. I don't like these grips falling apart on me from handle it grips, so I got to figure something out there. I'm using a large back strap, using the stock plate that comes with them, the plastic gaskets. Not even like a plate, it's just a gasket, right? But it's staying put. After today, I end the match and just fucking around with the gun to try to break it in, I probably have about 1,000 rounds through it now. So yeah, 1,000 rounds through this GLOCK. And I'll have to get another one, dude, because this is the gun that I'll be taking to Nationals. It's done. It's decided. That's what I'm doing. So I'll need to get a second one. Once I have this one built how I want it, I want to build the second one as similar to this one as possible. This is my numero uno. I'm going to have mi numero dos gun ready. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time here at the range.